specific part of the charge, and I object. That's a mischaracterization of what I did.
Overruled.
So, that's interesting to me, and it should be to you, that he has harped on and read many times the second part of the instructional possession. If you can't possess something, if you're not in possession of something in your own home, who's in possession of anything?
I'm going to object. That's a misstatement of law.
Overruled.
The hypo that he asked you about the dad that rents the apartment for the son in college. He asked you, he tried to scare you, that the dad, under our theory, would be held liable for any marijuana bills going on in that apartment.
I object. That's a misrepresentation.
That's what he said,
Judge.
Judge.
I object.
That's what he said.
Objection's overruled.
That's not the case, because you gotta know about it. The dad wouldn't have known about it, he's somewhere else. Now, if the son knows there's drug dealing going on in that apartment, and he doesn't get rid of them, I've got children, I hope they would. I hope they would get rid of them, make them stop. And if they were smaller and couldn't, they were big guys and they were stronger than him, kind of the scenario we have here, call the police. Do something about it. And if the son did anything at all to stop it, he would not be liable. If he allowed it to continue in his apartment, he would be liable. My own son would be liable, and so would yours. That's the way the law is.
Objection. I'm not waiving my argument on the law, Judge. The law is charged with the jury. That's a misstatement of law.
Overruled.
I'm not waiving that objection.
Overruled.
You just can't house drug dealers, because you're part of it, ladies and gentlemen. What kind of message would we send if we ignore the law and don't find the defendant guilty when all the elements are met? Is that going to mean to the people out here on the streets that I can just have drug parties, a lot of dope smoking, I can have drug dealers over, I get some benefit, and I'm not going to be liable? There's going to be little pot houses and meth houses spring up overnight if that's the message you send. We got a bigger picture here. We got a bigger picture. San Saba is eaten up with drugs, just like every other community. It's, you know, this is the time to do the hard work. You've been chosen to do the hard work, just like I have. Can't ignore it. You should just simply weigh the evidence and decide if I've proven the case. You know I've done that. You know I've done it. He knew the drugs were there. He knowingly possessed it because he's in his house. And he knew it was there. The other thing I wanted to, before I finish, is this idea that he didn't smoke marijuana. And I have to do the hard work too. I mean, I had to press him a little bit on that. When I told him he was under oath, and I reminded him of that, then he said he didn't know. He didn't know. He couldn't remember. Didn't know. He wouldn't answer the question, basically, when I told him he was under oath about smoking marijuana. He's part of it.
else have the record?
The jury will recall the evidence.
If this were your house or your apartment, marijuana was being smoked in it, there were drug deals going on in the living room, and you were sitting right there watching it happen, what would you do? You probably wouldn't just sit there and watch it happen. What if you couldn't get up? Would you get rid of it somehow? Let's not send the wrong message with that. The only way we're going to make a dent in the drugs in San Saba is to have zero tolerance, including handicapped, disabled, anybody allowing drugs to be sold out of their apartment. The other hard work of deciding what to do with him after the guilty verdict is going to be up to the judge. You just got to decide guilty or not guilty. It's your job. I appreciate y'all listening. I know it's been a while. It's hard to sit here, go through the big, some of it's just boring. And I really appreciate y'all's attention. And I know y'all do the right thing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you now have all the evidence. The court's charge containing the law of the case and the attorney's final arguments before you. I'm going to shortly send you back to deliberate upon your verdict. I suggest you first take a break, refresh yourselves, and then gather and proceed to follow the instructions in the charge. You may deliberate only when all 12 of you are in the jury room. If one of you needs to step out to the restroom or get a drink of water or anything, you have to stop your deliberations. At any time that you want to take a full break, just let the bailiff know. He will advise us that you're on a break. Take a break when you need to for as long as you